Hello viewers, I just wanted to make a quick video on how to remove a turbocharger from Volvo. It's a 2-liter petrol obviously with a turbo. It comes in V60, V90, XC60, XC90, maybe something else. This is pretty common engine, basically like this. This is the mild hybrid version, but it comes in a lot of cars, and there is a big problem with the turbocharger. And to be precise, it's the problem with the wastegate flap that's inside of the turbo. The flap can get worn down and loose, and eventually it can fall into the catalytic converter, which is down there. And once that's damaged, there is big cost. So unfortunately, fortunately, only the flap got a little bit stuck in my turbo. It didn't just yet fall out completely, so I just wanted to make a video on how to remove this, because there is no really useful information on the internet, and this is pretty, like, if you do mechanics, it's not really complicated, but if you're just like a homemade mechanic, just doing this in your back garden or something, it might be a big challenge to remove it. So basically, first things first, you remove the whole cowl, plastic cowl for your windshield wipers. The windshield wiper motor, there is like an aluminum brace that goes across over here. When you remove it, you get access to two small bolts, 7mm, and once you remove them, there's one over here and one on the other side. You can remove this panel over here, which is like a firewall over there, and that unlocks a hell lot of room over here. I think you need to have the car on the lift, because I had to remove a couple bolts from the heat shields from underneath the car. Maybe it's possible to do it without lifting up the car, but it's a lot easier. And yes, so it's a big job. It took me about 4 hours to remove it. So there is two studs sticking out over here with nuts, and two bolts with thick washers. This holds the turbo to the manifold. There's this big V-band over here, which also got stuck in my case, so I had to pry it open. And the last thing that holds it, it's this cold side of the turbo, has two pipes with clips, and one it's below and one is on top, which is integrated into this box. So you just have to remove them both. And this bracket over here also needs to be removed and moved away to have access to remove the turbo. Yes, so it's a quite big job. And also that's the oil feed or oil drain. Two bolts with the Torx head, I think T27. Once you have this over here removed, it's really becoming really easy, but you just have to keep track of your bolts and nuts, because there is loads to be removed. And here is the cause of all this problem. The first problem I had with this turbo was this piece over here. I don't know how to call it, this arm. So this got worn so badly on this side that it basically grind down the material and it fell off. As you can see, there is circlip here from the factory. So this was so worn, this hole over here, that it actually went over the circlip and fell off. The car was in limp mode, no power, but for some reason, it was not in limp mode. It was only throwing a fault code with boost, related to boost, maybe too low or something like this. But on cold start, you could hear this kind of noise. And yeah, so I found out that this was completely off the joint over there. So what I did, I removed it completely. I welded the holes shut, drilled them again, a little bit smaller on this side so it fit better. Unfortunately, this is so worn over here that I cannot use the circlip anymore, so I just had a wire tighten from this pipe, from the coolant feed to this, so it allows for, you know, for this to stay on top of the mounting. But yes, so the car regained some of its power after I fixed this, but not all of it, because the main issue is inside of the turbo, and this is absolutely horrendous. I know it, like, this is problem on some BMWs, E90s, which is quite a old car now, but this is new platform, the Volvo. So I don't know, how can you cheap out on materials so badly? Look at this flap. This is something else. Like, from factory, this is a little bit loose to allow, you know, to heat, to expand and all that kind of stuff. Like, this cannot be just one piece because it would crack. But this basically was sitting something like, I don't even know how to replicate this now. But basically I was driving the car home, and just when I arrived, this engine started to shake like crazy. Oh yes, so it's basically sideways, look at that. And the car went into the lip mode with the little tortoise symbol, and I think we found the problem. So there is option of reconditioning the whole turbo, but mine is actually in pretty good condition. The shaft has no play, and I think it is possible to get just this part, this arm, which comes in two pieces. So that's the first piece, that's the second piece, together with the new flap. And luckily the surface that closes this hole is not terribly worn, so maybe that can be just saved, grinded down a little bit, and it can be still used. But this is such a bad design, and Volvo doesn't really want to agree that it's a factory fault and this should be recall, because it's a big cost to now replace, you know, tens of thousands of turbos, and where the labor is absolutely over the roof as well. They probably charge customers huge money, like half of the value of the car, to replace a turbo on this. Yeah, so I will make an update. I'm sending this to be reconditioned, but I'm hoping they can just fix the hot side of the turbo by replacing this and putting new circlip, and then it should be as good as new. And now, after all this talking, you heard, I didn't go to have this turbo reconditioned because I found out it's pretty simple. Well, if you have the skills and the tool to do it yourself, because what you really pay for is for this thing to be removed and replaced. So what I found out, there is a weld over here. When you grind it off, you take this completely away and you are ready to replace it. There are replacement parts available online. It's a turbo wastegate rattle rebuild kit or something like this. I will link it in the description. Paid really not that much for it, and it solved the big issue. So what I did, I removed this, take out the old sleeve, pressed in the new one, welded it in the same position as the old one was in. I actually have marks. So basically this corner lines up with the mark over there, and this arm over there lines up with the white mark over here. You have to do it because then if you weld this in a different position, this motor, it's not going to do its job, because it's going to tell the car that it's in closed position and it might be in open, and the other way around. So yes, simple solution. You need a welder, of course, but if you don't know how to weld, you can bring it to a friend with a welder or any mechanic shop. But this is definitely doable on your own. And one tip I can give you, just to heat up this area, before pressing this out. And for pressing this sleeve out, I actually used, of course, you're pressing this out when this is removed, and also the flap. I placed a deep socket over here, and I put bolt through it and just tightened the bolt, and the sleeve came out. And then the other way around, I used piece of pipe, thick wall pipe, smaller as the one for taking it out, because on this side you only have to press it in this much. So you take a piece of pipe like this, grind it on angle. I actually lost the one I used, I don't know where it is. So you just have to grind it down on one side, because this area over here is not flat. So you just have to match this shape with this shape, and again you put the sleeve on top, bolt, nut, and you tighten, you press, you're good to go. You can basically put this through here, and then this on top, you weld in the marked area, and you're good to go. And I bought it in the online shop Genesis Turbo. It's a Polish company. The parts, this piece of metal rod, and the flapper rebuild kit was 260 zloty, which is like, I don't know, 80 euro, something like this. So I will leave a link in the description in the video, and I will now proceed to install this on the car and give you an update if everything is alright. Okay, so the job is complete. I had a bit of a fright, because after installing the turbo and putting everything back together, the car actually made this horrendous knocking sound that was before, just as it happened a couple days ago. And I thought that something's wrong with the engine, but when the turbo failed, when that little flap failed, it must have changed the air to fuel ratio or the mixture, because the first cylinder was a little bit flooded with fuel. So I just had to dry the cylinder, dry the spark plug, and eventually the knocking started to quieten down, and it totally disappeared. It was probably just like knocking from ignition without spark, I think. That was the big sound, big terrible sound. But yeah, everything is fine now. One tip for you before doing this job is to making loads of photos of what are you taking apart and what bolt goes where, because there is loads of bolts, and the sequence of putting things back together is pretty important as well, especially with the heat shields. So yeah, but other than this, there is no faults now in the ECU. There is no faults, no misfire, no rattling of the turbo. You can sometimes you can hear ticking sound. It's just the injectors. But here on this connecting rod, there is zero play right now, zero. So yeah, I have to take that car for a test drive, but I think it's going to be a complete different animal now. And that's with the cover on. Still not the quietest petrol engine, but it sounds way different, way better than before the job. Yeah, I never got to drive that car with faultless turbo, because when I bought it, that connecting rod was already loose. So yeah, I'm hoping for some different experience now.